What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Peabody back again with another video, man. So this time we got the terrifying Simpsons predictions for 2020. So y'all know in the past, before the Simpsons has predicted a lot of stuff that actually came true. So right now their percentage is looking pretty good. So let's see what they bringing for 2025, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below, man. Let's see what the Simpsons bringing this year.
Can you hold a sign?
You know it.
Want $50?
Woohoo!
Do you care who the next president is?
No.
Come with me.
Hold on to your remote, because The Simpsons isn't just entertaining us anymore. It's basically a time traveler in cartoon form.
Even at New Year's, you gotta love that crazy chorus.
From flying cars to robotic takeovers, this show has predicted some seriously futuristic stuff, and guess what? We're living it right now.
You guys are my new best friends!
You wish, loser.
Yo, not only did the Simpsons predict a lot of things, the show is actually good. Homer's funny, man. I'm telling you.
It's like the writers had a secret portal to 2024, and we're just here riding the wave. And it's not just random guesses. These predictions are uncannily accurate, almost like the show isn't just watching the future unfold, but playing a part in shaping it. But this isn't just Homer holding a sign and cheering. He gets literally pulled into the world of Trump's hair. Yep, Trump's infamous hairstyle takes him on a wild journey. And that's where things get eerily relevant to today.
Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week.
Inside this golden whirlpool, Homer spots campaign signs plastered with dates. Trump 2012, Trump 2016, and, here's the kicker, Trump 2024, and even Trump 2028. When the short aired, these dates seemed like a funny nod to Trump's non-stop media presence. But in real life, Trump's
Yo, guys, you think they own to something with these dates? You never know, man.
actual 2016 run shook up the political landscape. Known for his brash style, Trump won the Republican nomination against all odds, then went on to defeat Hillary Clinton. He was unlike any previous president, with an approach that polarized opinions and sparked endless debates. Fast forward to 2020. Trump's re-election bid became a huge moment in U.S. politics, with people divided more than ever over his policies. This time, he was up against Joe Biden, who ultimately won. But Trump continued to dominate headlines with his insistence that the election had been stolen, leading to months of controversy and investigations. But here we are in 2024, and Trump has won again, proving that The Simpsons might have been onto something when they hinted at a series of Trump campaigns that just wouldn't quit.
Which one is cuter? Like for the dog, comment for the cat.
So, with Trump back in office in 2024, fans are wondering, will he really make it to Trump 2028 like Homer saw? The prediction is almost spooky at this point, as it mirrors Trump's relentless drive and influence in the political world. Love him or hate him, it's clear he's not going away quietly. And The Simpsons? Well, they're still the show that keeps everyone guessing if they've seen the future, one laugh at a time. If you're loving these Simpsons predictions, hit that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming next. The high-flying vision of the future. Imagine soaring above traffic, cutting your commute in half.
Hey, guys. It's coming sooner than you think. With all these drones and everything, flying cars are right behind it. Telling you, give it a few years.
And forgetting about gridlock. The Simpsons gave us a glimpse of this futuristic fantasy way back in 2005 in the episode Future Drama. Bart and Lisa get a look into the future, where Homer and Bart cruise around in a hover car, a scene that seems less like sci-fi and more like a teaser of what might actually be coming. While we're not quite hovering in the sky yet, technology is racing. Not hover exactly, but it can transform from a three-wheeled road vehicle into a plane. After more than 14 years of development, Samsung Sky is set to start delivering the Switchblade soon. Imagine driving out of your garage, heading to a small airport, and watching as your car unfolds wings and becomes a fully functioning aircraft in just minutes. And this isn't a sci-fi daydream. It's actually set for production. The Switchblade can reach speeds up to 200 miles per hour and fly as high as 13.
YouTube, would y'all get in that? You fly in that? Take a ride in it? I wouldn't.
15,000 feet. That's way beyond what most of us would expect from a car. This high-tech vehicle has been in development since 2009, going through multiple design tweaks to improve safety, aerodynamics, and comfort. Samsung Sky even redesigned the wing and interior space.
The only way I'm getting in that thing, you better put a parachute on me. All the way.
Recently to give it an added edge. Now, the Switchblade is closer to a commercial reality, with a projected takeoff around 2026. The concept of flying cars isn't new. Engineers have been testing various prototypes for decades, but safety concerns, regulations, and high costs kept them from taking off. Literally. Samsung Sky's Switchblade is street legal, meaning it can travel on the road just like any other car, making it one of the most realistic iterations of the flying car concept we've seen yet. However,
all right, my thing is with the Switchblade, it's street legal, and you take off the wings. Do they fold in? They need to explain that, because how you go drive that down the road, them long ass wings sticking out the side of it?
you'd need a pilot's license to operate one, adding a whole new dimension to what driving means in this future. The Simpsons didn't just envision a cool new way to travel, they anticipated a solution to an everyday headache. Traffic congestion costs Americans billions in lost time every year, not to mention the frustration. With flying cars, we could bypass traffic completely, taking direct routes that save time and open up new possibilities for commuting and travel. Homer's hover car may have been a comedic touch, but the dream it represents is closer than ever. With real companies pushing boundaries in aerospace technology, the Simpsons' vision of the future might not be so far-fetched. So, who knows? In a few years, we might find ourselves flying to work like Homer did. Proof that the Simpsons might just have a crystal ball after all. But before we get all caught up in 2024, let's rewind and check out some of the Simpsons' spot-on predictions from years past. The Simpsons Submarine Saga.
So with this clip right here, I'm assuming they're getting at the submarine that went down to try to see the Titanic that imploded. So y'all all know what happened with that situation.
In The Simpsons Season 17, Episode 10, Homer's Paternity Coot, Homer finds himself on an underwater treasure hunt with a man he thinks might be his long-lost dad, Mason Fairbanks. They set off in their own submersibles, all excited about discovering treasure in a sunken ship called Piso Mojado. Of course, Homer being Homer, things go sideways fast. His sub gets stuck in some coral, his oxygen starts running low, and before you know it, he's passed out cold, only to wake up 3 days later in the hospital. Now, here's where it gets freaky. When this episode aired, no one was thinking it would mirror a real-world disaster. Flash forward to June 2023, and fans were suddenly remembering Homer's underwater misadventure after the real-life Ocean Gate submersible tragedy. That sub, carrying 5 people on an expedition to explore the Titanic wreck, tragically imploded, resulting in the passing of everyone aboard. The parallel between Homer's oxygen-deprived fate and the Ocean Gate passengers' deadly end isn't just eerie, it's borderline creepy. Sure, The Simpsons has a history of making predictions, but this one hits a little too close to home. Homer's escapade, which starts as a goofy treasure hunt, quickly turns dangerous when his sub gets trapped, much like the real Ocean Gate submersible that couldn't make it back to the surface. It's almost like Homer was the unofficial mascot for deep-sea disasters. And while we're not exactly calling out The Simpsons for some crystal ball-like clairvoyance, it's hard to ignore how the show often gets shockingly close to reality. The episode's blend of absurdity and tension shows how far the limits of exploration and technology can go, and how sometimes things can go wrong in ways you never see coming. Join the Navy? In The Simpsons Season 12, Episode 14, we get a glimpse into a weird and somewhat unsettling plot involving a boy band called Party Posse. Bart, Nelson, Milhouse, and Ralph form the group and drop a hit song, Dropped a Bomb. The music video for the song features a strange phrase, Ivan ate Nioj, which, when flipped, spells out join the Navy. But it's not just the phrase that stands out. The visuals are loaded with war-zone imagery, bombings, and women in stereotypically Arab outfits dancing provocatively while singing Ivan ate Nioj. Before long, the entire town of Springfield is humming the tune, unknowingly absorbing the subliminal message. Homer, too, finds himself repeating the phrase Ivan ate Nioj, showing just how deep the influence has spread. The big reveal? The music producer behind the whole thing turns out to be a Navy lieutenant. In the episode, Lisa uncovers that the military has been using music to sneakily recruit young people for years. It's not all just made-up nonsense. Back in World War II, the US government realized that movies, radio, and music could be powerful tools for pushing agendas, with entertainment being used to subtly shift public opinion, sometimes to encourage people to enlist in the military. And it wasn't just some wild idea. The CIA itself has acknowledged how media and propaganda played a role in influencing people during wartime. Now, fast forward to today. It's hard not to notice how music seems to affect our lives. You know that feeling when you can't get a song out of your head? Or how a catchy tune goes viral and everyone's listening to it, whether they want to or not. The truth is, music has always had this weird power to affect our emotions and decisions, from making us feel good to triggering
All right, I know music. I know they use music to influence a lot of things, but I never knew they used music to get people to join the military. Still trying to wrap my head around that one. Weird.
nostalgic memories. But could it go even further than that? With streaming algorithms pushing certain songs to the top of charts, it makes you wonder if we're really choosing what we listen to, or if there's something behind the scenes shaping our playlists. Now, we're not saying we're all being secretly recruited by the Navy through our Spotify accounts. Although, who knows, but it's hard to ignore how music and media shape how we think and act. Whether we realize it or not, those songs we hear every day have a real impact, subtly influencing us in ways we might not always notice. So next time that catchy tune gets stuck in your head, remember, it might be more than just the beat. At the same time, the Barbie movie was making waves, and the world couldn't get enough of the hype. It was an intense moment, but in true Simpsons fashion, the timing felt eerily accurate. News outlets were all over the Barbie movie, from reviews to box office numbers, while Trump's arrest was treated as almost a side story. Just like in the episode, the big political drama took a backseat to pop culture, with all eyes on the latest Hollywood sensation instead. It's a bit of a punchline to think that The Simpsons predicted this shift in media priorities, but here we are. The episode didn't just capture the release of a doll, it nailed the kind of media obsession we see today, where
I have one question, man. How do the Simpsons keep doing it? Who's behind the Simpsons? Do they know something we don't? Because it's strange, man, how they predicting it down to a T. Lots. Not a few times, a lot.
often the trivial overshadows the important. The arrest of a former president should have been the headline, but instead, the world was more focused on pink plastic dolls and the glitz of a movie premiere. This prediction highlights how the media often gravitates toward the shiny, the sensational, and the headline-worthy, while the big stories get buried under a pile of distractions. It's the age-old problem of style over substance, and The Simpsons was way ahead of the curve in calling it out. So, while this might not technically be a 2024 prediction, the parallels to today's media landscape are too uncanny to ignore. In a world where pop culture often grabs more attention than politics, maybe it's time to give a little credit to The Simpsons, because once again, they nailed it. The Future Me. In The Simpsons, Season 31, Episode 11, Lisa gets a dose of unsolicited advice from an old man who tells her, "You'd be a lot prettier if you smiled." Classic. She shares this gem at the dinner table, and of course Bart, being Bart, brings up a puberty app that shows you how you'll look when you're older. Lisa's got the face of a disapproving adult at the table, but fast forward a few years and, surprise, surprise, this whole aging yourself thing is an actual trend. We've all seen the viral apps by now. You know the ones. Face app, Instagram filters, or any app that promises to show you your future face. Because apparently, figuring out how you're going to look in 30 years is now as easy as applying a filter for a TikTok video. These apps weren't even a thing when the episode aired in 2020, but they sure as heck are now. It's like The Simpsons took a quick peek into the future, probably while sipping on a Duff beer, and saw all of us digitally aging ourselves in real time. These apps let you upload your photo, and suddenly, you're 60. The apps take a crack at showing you with a couple more wrinkles, some graying hair, and perhaps the face of someone who has had way too many Zoom meetings. Bart's joke about a puberty app in the episode doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. The concept has gone from a throwaway joke to a massive digital trend. Everyone from teens to 50-year-olds can't resist the temptation to see how they'll look with that dad bod or grandma glasses combo. But hold on. Just because we can see what we look like when we get older doesn't mean we should. Let's be real. Do we really need to add future self-anxiety to our list of daily stressors? First, it was that annoying pimple. Now it's wrinkles that you can't avoid. Thanks, Face app. But let's be honest, the only thing more fun than seeing yourself age with these apps is how extra we all get. There's something strangely hilarious about the way people share their transformed older selves on social media, like it's a major life achievement. What's even crazier? This episode aired in 2020, but the aging app trend didn't take off until a couple of years later. That's some serious Simpsons-level foresight right there. They had the idea long before we were all hunting for the perfect filter to show off our future wrinkles. And just like that, they nailed yet another prediction. First it was Trump's arrest, and
they did it again. The Simpsons did it again.
now it's us becoming obsessed with our future selves.
Hey, Homer, give me some lottery ticket numbers, man. The Mega Millions and the Powerball. I greatly appreciate it, bro.
What's next, Simpsons? Are you going to tell us that our pets will be posting selfies too? The hologram hustle. Technology is moving at lightning speed, and just when we think we've caught up, The Simpsons is already 10 steps ahead. Take, for example, an episode where Homer and Marge receive a holographic wedding invitation from Artie, a guy who could have married Marge instead of Homer. It seemed like a funny, futuristic gag at the time, but today, we're getting closer to the reality of holograms being used for communication in ways we never imagined. As of now, we've got something similar to the holograms The Simpsons encountered, DreamOck HD3. This impressive three-sided holographic display can project a 3D image of anyone or anything, anywhere in the world. It's already being used in certain tech stores, like Best Buy, where it's displayed to showcase products in an entirely new way. But imagine the possibilities, meeting friends or family from across the globe as if they're right there in your living room. Or how about a holographic concert where your favorite artist performs right in front of you, without the need for a plane ticket or a crowded venue? While holograms aren't in everyone's homes just yet, things are moving quickly. Companies like Microsoft, Facebook, and other tech giants are heavily investing in this kind of immersive experience, even for business meetings and virtual events. At the same time, there's a growing interest in using holograms for entertainment. Think concerts, theatrical performances, or immersive video games where you feel like you're part of the action. With advancements in VR and AR, it's only a matter of time before the technology becomes more affordable and accessible to the average consumer. Imagine not just seeing a 3D image of a product before buying it, but interacting with it in real time. Or what if we could have a face-to-face conversation with someone far away, without them ever leaving their home? The technology is still developing, but it's easy to see how holograms could become a common part of our lives.
I'm not even gonna lie. Gotta be dope, man. Gotta be dope. I'm not even gonna front on that shit. That would be nice.
Transforming how we connect, work, and experience entertainment. While we may not yet be sending and receiving holographic gig invitations like Bart, the future is looking pretty bright for holograms, proving once again that The Simpsons really did know what was coming. Simpsons, robots, and the rise of AI.
Working hard or hardly working? It's a simple question! Am I...
In an episode of The Simpsons, Homer's boss introduces a future where robots aren't just coming, they're taking over. In this vision, Homer and his colleagues are tasked with training robots to take over their jobs, a premise that feels eerily familiar today. As the robots slowly begin to replace the workers, Homer somehow retains his position, but it's not without some effort. He resorts to using tricks to connect with the robots, showing the strange lengths humans might go to try and outwit the machines. It's a quirky, satirical take on automation. But in the real world, we're seeing the lines between human workers and their robotic replacements blur faster than ever. Fast forward to today.
Yo, speaking of robots and AI, not sure how true it is, but they said Elon Musk uploaded his brain to the cloud. That's some wild shit. That's wild.
And the technology depicted in that Simpsons episode is no longer a far-off comedic idea. AI robots and automation are already deeply integrated into workplaces around the globe. From self-checkout machines replacing cashiers to sophisticated AI assistants like Siri or Alexa, handling everything from scheduling to making jokes, we're living in a world that's eerily close to Homer's robotic future. In recent years, we've seen the rise of AI and automation in industries ranging from retail to manufacturing to even more creative fields like content creation. Companies like Boston Dynamics have already developed robots capable of complex tasks, while tech giants like Google and Microsoft have unveiled AI tools that can write articles, code software, and even pass medical exams. It's no longer a question of if robots will take over jobs, but when, and which jobs are next. But just like Homer, humans aren't giving up that easily. We see a growing push for retraining programs and even debates over the ethics of AI replacing human workers. While AI may be able to perform many tasks more efficiently, it still lacks human intuition, creativity, and the emotional intelligence needed in many professions. As robots continue to evolve, there's the constant question of how far we're willing to let them replace us, without losing what makes us uniquely human. Homer's desperate attempts to connect with the robots in the episode may have been exaggerated for comedic effect, but they highlight a real, ongoing struggle in our own world. How do we coexist with machines that are designed to outperform us? And who knows, maybe Homer's persistence in holding on to his job is a hint about how we, too, will find ways to adapt and thrive in a world that's becoming more automated by the day. How the Simpsons predicted autocorrect's rise.
The idea was, with autocorrect, was to give you software assistance. Figure out what you meant to type. You would just go as quickly as you could and the software would help you.
In the Simpsons episode Lisa on Ice, there's a small tech moment that ended up shaping how we use our devices today. In one scene, the school bully, Dolph, tries to use Apple's first personal digital assistant, the Newton. He types out a threatening message, "Beat up Martin." But in true Newton fashion, the device struggles with handwriting recognition, turning Dolph's angry note into something totally random. "Eat up, Martha." At the time, the Newton's poor handwriting recognition was a punchline. It was supposed to be this futuristic device, but it couldn't decipher real human writing to save its life. Instead of translating Dolph's message correctly, it generated a nonsensical and hilarious glitch. While this moment was comedic, it also turned out to be a bit of a tech prophecy. Who could have guessed that a simple "eat up Martha" would play a part in shaping the future of Apple? By the early 2000s, Apple was preparing to launch.
So question is, hear me out. Are these tech giants watching these shows and getting the idea from The Simpsons and making it reality? Or The Simpsons predicting the future or predicting what's to come? Something to think about.
The iPhone, and they were determined not to repeat the Newton's mistakes. Engineers knew they had to design a more reliable text input system to avoid another embarrassing failure. The "Eat Up Martha" incident became an inside joke at Apple, a cautionary tale that reminded the team of the importance of accuracy when it came to typing. If they didn't nail it, their new device could face the same fate as the Newton. The solution? Autocorrect. This new feature, which would later become standard on every smartphone, was built to predict and correct errors as you typed. By analyzing language patterns and learning from user input, autocorrect could make educated guesses about what you meant to say, improving the typing experience and minimizing mistakes. Of course, autocorrect still has its quirky moments. Sometimes it corrects too much or too little, resulting in some hilarious and occasionally embarrassing blunders. But these glitches are a reflection of the complexities of language and the challenges of artificial intelligence. So, next time you laugh at an autocorrect fail, remember, it all started with a bully, a botched message, and a device that couldn't get it right. The Simpsons may have been poking fun at tech, but in doing so, they unintentionally pushed Apple toward a major innovation that's still with us today. When Gaga goes animated. Lisa Goes Gaga may not be everyone's favorite Simpsons episode, but there's one thing it absolutely nailed: predicting Lady Gaga's iconic Super Bowl halftime performance. The episode aired back in 2012, long before Gaga wowed millions with her 2017 Wire stunt. And yet, the animated version of Gaga was shockingly ahead of its time. In the episode, Gaga swoops into Springfield to help Lisa with some classic teen angst. Because, of course, who better to solve your existential problems than Lady Gaga herself? As part of her grand entrance, Gaga is dressed in a bizarre, wire and light encrusted outfit. But here's the kicker. Her animated look in this episode is a near identical match to the stunt Gaga pulled off during her Super Bowl halftime show 5 years later, where she descended from the sky, sparkling and dazzling in a similar wire-based outfit. Now, it's not like The Simpsons has a direct line to Lady Gaga's wardrobe, unless of course they do, but it's still pretty insane that they managed to predict her Super Bowl stunt to such detail. Gaga, the queen of over-the-top performances, took to the skies at Super Bowl 51 in a dramatic wire harness, descending into the stadium to the delight of millions of viewers. The visuals were straight up sparkly, futuristic, and totally Gaga. And if you were watching The Simpsons in 2012, you'd already seen her make this electrifying entrance in animated form. So, what's next for The Simpsons? Will they predict humans living on the sun, or something even crazier? Only time will tell.
Alright, guys, that'll wrap up the video for the Simpsons prediction of 2025, man. But like I said, the Simpsons have been right for a long time, man. And I also have the questions. Have they been watching the Simpsons episodes, getting ideas and copying the Simpsons? Or have the Simpsons been predicting a lot of this stuff? Something to ask yourself, man. Question everything. But yeah, these videos are for entertainment purposes only, so take from it how you see fit. So yeah, man, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below what you think. What you think the Simpsons are gonna predict next? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Appreciate the love, support, man. Salute. I'm out.